So here we go with getting denatured, okay? Denatured meaning you lose your shape. So easy to see the substrate locking into the active site, but then at some high or low pH or hit it with some high heat. Ooh, boom, something happened to this enzyme. It's just not going to work. See how the active site changed? Active site destroyed, just like my handwriting, and it can't work anymore. It's not going to fit. It's like if you take a key and you mess it up, it's not going to fit in that lock anymore. And immobilized enzymes, or enzymes that are on that they take and they stick on things. We'll see an example in a minute, but they work for many different things. So biofuels to make ethanol. You take some enzymes and you add it to different kinds of grasses, what's that, hemp, and other sorts of plant material can be used and broken down to ethanol. Household items like laundry detergent, bit terrible writing, laundry detergent. Oh, that's better. Have enzymes in them so they can work and break down the stains, which are usually biological in nature, like grass stains or food stains, blood stains, so that they can break it up and move it out. So there's enzymes in there. Different things in biotechnology, like to make the vaccines. Now there's enzymes that are involved in making those. Diagnostic, like pregnancy tests, and other types of diagnostic tests uses these immobilized enzymes. Making clothes, let's see, making paper, cloth, making food for animals, drugs and medicines. We see different enzymes being used. And here's something that came up. You know, when milk got to be really hard to find, I got lactose-free milk. And it tasted normal for the most part. I did notice it being a little sweeter, and I'll show you why. So you take the way it works, you take the regular milk, and you pass it over these beads. These beads have this lactase enzyme stuck to them. And as the milk's passing through, the lactose gets broken down into glucose and galactose. And glucose tastes a lot sweeter than lactose does. So that's where that came from. Anyway, you get the lactase from yeast or bacteria, it depends. And they stick the lactase on these alginate beads like you see here. And then you pass the milk over and over again over the beads. This milk comes out, go back in, comes out, goes back in, and eventually you have lactose-free milk. You do that enough times, and it increases the sweetness of the milk, like I mentioned. And for some people, they need it sweet, and it's a lot better having that natural sugar than adding artificial sweeteners in there. I really cringe when I see people use artificial sweeteners. Like Sweet and Low, Equal, or something that can really disrupt your body. It's also used to reduce crystals forming in ice cream. So there we go. So it increases the smoothness. When you have ice cream, you want it to be nice and smooth, just buttery smooth ice cream. So using lactase helps to break down those, reduces the crystallization. It also, you want to make some yogurt, you want to make some cheese, you want to speed up making it. So you're able to use lactase to do that. So as far as the design, go check out your book right here, 100, what is it, 100 and 101, and you will see all this information about enzymes, how to design enzyme experiments. So I want you to do that. There's hundreds of different ways to do it. just as a little heads up, I'm trying to do an online lab with some equipment I have sitting over here. We're going to be using yeast. We're also going to be using peroxide, hydrogen peroxide, that is. aka H2O2. And when you catalase, when you use an enzyme called catalase, you break the H2O2 into water and oxygen, and you can measure those two things to figure out how the reaction is progressing. So on the next page, I want you to spend some time. I want you to do that on your own. You can fill that out on the page, the guide that I'm going to give you through the classroom. If you're watching this later on, you'll have the slide packet, but during our lockout or our shutdown, you'll be typing this into the Google Slides. Okay, and my next slide, I think I'm done. Yeah, so here we're going to do this virtually. I'm going to make some videos, and you are going to have a lab guide with the data table where you are going to add that. So go back, 101, 102, and just kind of design a way where you can do an experiment. It gives you a really good example of how to do that in the outline of 101.